Hello friends, and welcome back to part 4 of how to draw a floor plan. Now in the previous parts we have drawn this floor plan, we have added all the grids and everything, and I've tried to keep those videos as short as possible. In this video we are going to complete this entire floor plan so that it actually looks like a floor plan. Now this is a very simple floor plan that I have done. You do not really have to follow this floor plan, but you can also use the basics of this floor plan to create your own. Let's begin. Now what I will actually do now is just simply add the dimensions here and plot this to PDF. So let's start. So the first thing that you need to do is turn on your dimensions layer. In this case I've already done so, and then you'll have to click on dimension. Remember, you don't need the several dimensions in the drawing over here. You just need two for the long one for the porch, one for the building, and one for the wide one. Now we click on this dimension. We click on this tool here, and it will give you a dimension. Or alternatively, you can type DIMLI. It's a linear dimension, and then you can just make a straight dimension. Now my dimensions, the annotations are actually set to automatic, so I just have to be careful that this scale is correct. If this scale is off, if it's something else apart from what I have set up in the previous videos, then my scales will appear smaller and they will not actually show up in the publishing and printing when I actually go for it. Now you have created one dimension, so you don't have to keep on clicking on this. You can just type DIMC, that's dimension continue, then press enter, and it will pick up exactly from that point, and you can add one to the end over here. Now what we can do is simply click on this dimension tool again, and then click grid to grid, and that's your dimension over there. Now if a grid is disturbing, what you can do is simply move this one out slightly, move this one down slightly, then click on a dimension, take this hot grip and just move your dimension slightly off. Remember, these section flags should not be above the dimension lines, so you can just bring them down like so. I will not be adding the sheet numbers right now because I haven't actually drawn the section, but what I have done is I've added the callouts there so that they are there when I need to edit them. So now these are all the dimensions that you actually need in a floor plan, and let's check it out. Let's check how it looks on our model paper space. So my paper space is A02, and as you can see that over here that floor plan is actually shown properly. I have set up the key. These are the elevation key. This elevation is of this drawing number and will be represented on this sheet. Similarly with the others, as you can see that everything is in check. And I've also taken this floor plan, scaled it down so that it actually fits here. I used scale with reference. And then I also added another set of keys that shows key to the exterior elevations. Now what I did, I had also filled out the construction legend, floor finishes, drainage legend, but you can modify this as you want. I also added a separate call out for the sheet, and here I have renamed it to proposed floor plan. I've shown you how to draw this in a dynamic blocks video tutorial. Now I am also not going to actually fill these numbers here because they'll be done in another video while I'm doing the elevations, and once I plot all the elevations, then I'll be only able to get the numbers. The numbers that I'm referring to are these. This is 02. By the time we reach elevations, this will either be 06 or 08, so we'll use that one along with the bottom sheet number to match these numbers over here. So as you can see, the floor plan is now complete. The floor finishes legends are done too, and everything has been set up correctly. You can go into the title block, and what you can do is simply double click on any information once, and you will get each and everything here which you will need to edit one by one. Now I had missed out on one thing over here, which was the kitchen, so let's go and add that. Now it's not a big task over here because all I have to do is just turn on my layer for joinery, then type PL for polyline, Then just place my outline of wherever I want my kitchen to be. Now I want this to be in an L shape. So what I'll do is I'll just click on that and move it out. So I can do my editing over here. The carcass depth, the top width that I use is 600 mm wide. So we type offset, then we enter the distance of 600 mm, then press enter, like so. Then we type PL and close this. Similarly, we can do that over here. And what I also like to do is draw another polyline, like so. Then offset it by 700 mils or 700 millimeter. Now, as you can see that is making our line slightly smaller, but you don't have to worry about this because this is an island cabinet. So what I'll do is just close it off, and I'll have 750 millimeters of gap over here to over here for me to work. Now I'll draw another polyline. I'll just simply offset this by 300 mm wide because that will be the outline of our overhead cabinets. So as you can see, there is not much task to actually draw the plan of it, but when you actually come to the elevation part, then we'll have to struggle quite a bit. So I'll just move this out of the way, and what I like to do is just type M for move it out, and just enter any distance that I like. In this case, it says 4644, so I'll enter 5000. So if I click on this and I click on move again, just move it out slightly and I enter my distance of 5000 that I just entered, it will bring it back there immediately. So now what I'll do is I'll just take H for H and just simply do a solid H. I'll just put a number 9 gray here and here. Now if the H's are overlapping your actual lines, your outlines, what you can do is select your H, type DR for draw order and press enter, and then send your H's back. Now what we will do is we will move this one back by the distance that we had moved them out previously, like so. Now I'll select this and type G for group, then press enter. Then type M for move and then press enter, and just take a base point of it and simply place it there. Then I'll select this, or I'll just select my floor tiles because it's overlapping on my joinery. Then I'll press enter and then I'll send it back. Now as you can see that the H is a bit transparent, so what you can do is simply move this out using a value. I'll just take 20,000 millimeters, then press enter, then ungroup, click on the H and take a look at transparency, H transparency. It is set to 21. Now you can simply move this one out inwards like so to make it darker, and move it outwards like so to make it lighter. Or alternatively, you can just add your number there. So I'll just do a 0 because I don't want it to be transparent. Then what I'll do is simply select it, group it again, and then move it back. Now remember, the floor plan has to be 100% perfect because your floor plan is the foundation of your entire drawing. If you mess up anything within the floor plan, what will actually happen is that if you'll have to come back here, you have to delete all the other ones that you've done, and then you'll have to rectify this, and then you have to reflect it accordingly again. Which is why I'm taking time properly to explain to everyone how to make your floor plan so that you do not mess up while you are going up ahead in the drawings. Now you can make this drawing more appealing by adding more furniture such as an Adiron deck or an external chair, maybe a washing machine around here. But for this case, I'll leave it as so because it looks neat as it is and I do not wish to confuse anybody. Now if you wish to use a bigger screen, if you wish to use a wider screen, in this case what you can do is hold Ctrl+0 together and it will give you a clean screen. Now if you wish to exit, you can either do that, or to enter and exit you can also use this command over here, like so. So now that we have actually set up everything over here and our floor plan is complete, what we can do is go to our floor plan sheet and set it up over here. So to enter the viewport, remember you have to click inside of the viewport, double click inside the viewport. Then you have to unlock your viewport if it's locked. Then you can move it around and adjust it and lock it. Now, once you lock your viewport, it will not actually exit. You just cannot move the drawings out here and there. This is to prevent you from losing all the hard work that you've done and resetting everything again. Now what we will do is, we will zoom into our project panel, double click on it once, and then we will start making our changes. So the first thing that I'll change is the client's name. And what I'll do is, I'll enter for my YouTube followers. Since this drawing does not have any client, so I'll enter my YouTube followers, and you guys can enter your own client's name there. Now the address of my drawing can be, let's just say, to be advised. And the project name is proposed residential development, or you can write proposed commercial development or proposed structural, or whatever you think is right. Now the revision, you don't have to fill this because this is our first drawing. The sheet number to remain is A02. The drawn by is the draftsman who has drawn it, and the checked by is the superintendent who has checked it. In this case, I have drawn it and I have checked it. The scales are as shown. Let me show you what I mean. If this scale says as shown, then you will have to refer to this scale over here. The date drawn is the date that you had created your drawings, and I have left it to this. The discipline of this drawing is architectural. You can add your own custom project number. You can also add your date of issue. You can also add your issue for. What is it for? In this case, this is a preliminary proposal, so it's for the client's approval. Then you can change the sheet title, and these three I've already explained. Now click on OK. As you can see that I have also set up all of my keys over here, and how I did this was simply, let me just show you. These keys, I've spaced them to the way that I like. So what I like to do is just draw a rectangle inside of them, like so. And then offset it slightly, like so. Then I like to delete this. And what I'll do next is, I'll select the entire floor plane, type G for group, then press enter. Then I'll copy this, and I'm going to copy this with a base point. So we type Control plus Shift plus C. And then we'll just place it to a location that we like. Then we'll go back to our A02 and we'll paste it here. Now, when you do a group command and you copy and paste to the base point, it will explode back when you paste it. So just select it all again. Make sure that you don't select anything in this border, and type G for group, then press enter. Then we type SC for scale. Now I'm going to scale this down diagonally, and then click on one point and type R for reference, and click on that point again, and click on this point again, and just bring it down like so. So I'll just add this over here. Then I'll select it and then scale it down again with a reference. And then I'll put it in the rectangle, or I'll just make it slightly bigger. So now that you can see that you have a realistic floor plan, and this will show up when you are printing it, and everything is being called out accordingly. That is all for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a site plan. Now I know that should have been the first part of the video, But without the floor plane, you cannot create a side plane. Just for reference, let me show you. This is an actual side plane. Now this is for another client that I just pasted here for just a brief review of what we're going to do. And you can see my north point and everything else has been done here. You can also see that I've taken an image from Google Maps. And we'll paste this floor plane into that. And going ahead further, this is a full floor dimension plane. Now that's why I said not to add extra dimensions to the floor plane, because we'll actually be drawing a floor dimension plane. Then you can go ahead to do a reflected ceiling plane with all the finishing keys that as we had set up in the floor plane, but this is for the ceiling. So if I say number 3, number 3 in this drawing will refer to 10 mm 5LNG board installed as per manufacturer's instructions on 50 by 50 mm timber noggings at 600 mm centers both ways. And then I've gone up to draw all of my elevations, and I've also done a key reference. A key reference makes your drawing looks neat and tidy. This is another set of elevations, and I've also shown what kind of skirting to be added here. Now you might be wondering why I put this color. This is color number 101 in AutoCAD's color index, as you can see in the small properties white pop-up that is coming up there. Now this color will print as red. Let me show you. And you can see that this is green, but when I'm going to plot this, it's actually going to print as red. There you go. As you can see, it's printing as red. Put this to 100. There you go. And then I have my sections. All these are key references, and all these are the numbers to the key references. I also like to add a bit of sense of humor in my drawings to keep the client happy and the contractor happy as well. This is a standard roof plane, and I've shown what kind of terminal vent that I want here. And the elevation of the roof is also shown by this key. So you just have to copy and paste it over here using base points. This is a door schedule that I had done. These are the notes to the type of door finishes. And these are the preferred locks that the client wants. Now you don't have to make it exactly like this. You can add it just for reference. As I've written here, image for reference only. This is my window schedule. I've kept it very basic. These are some of the window and door head and sill details. This is the bathroom elevation. So you don't have to actually label everything in the floor plan and make your drawing look congested. This is the kitchen joinery plan. Now this red is actually going to print as black. This is another kitchen. This is the another elevation of the kitchen that I've done. And these are the basic wardrobe plans. So I hope you've enjoyed the contents of this video, and in the next video I'm actually going to show you how to make this side plan over here and how to also create a drawing index. If you like the contents of my channel, please like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, please let me know via comments. Thank you.